Hey guys, it is April 20th, which is Easter weekend. And you can see we got the girl behind us there. We got to get her naked. We're about a month away from putting her in the water. So we need to get her unwrapped, see what new surprises she's got for us. Also, there's some channel updates. I made a big mistake I got to let you guys know about. And we got to decide whether we're going to continue doing this channel. So anyways, let's get her unwrapped and I will update you guys as we go. There you can see the skeleton. We put that on to help with the shed the snow in the rain. And then there's all the plastic. I really dislike how much waste there is, but I don't know what you do. I don't have a shop to put it in, and I've tried to reuse the wrap before, but it's such a problem. You can never get it as tight as it originally was, and then you've got soft spots where snow will collect. So every time there's a snowstorm, I found myself climbing into the boat and cleaning all the snow off the cover. So it was a real pain in the ass, but I don't like all the waste. So I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments. Okay, so we got her unwrapped, and I'm looking around, and there's no mold. So that's calls for a beer. You never know. Like, I always find when I open up the boat, there's always a problem. Like, what was it? 2 years ago, it was the rotten foredeck. A year before that, I had the aft cabin ceiling all full of water. It's always something. So when you can open up the boat and there is no problems, it's definitely worthy of a beer. So I always put a lot of these, what is this called? Damp rid. I always put a lot of these around the boat in the winter when I put it away, and it sucks up all the moisture so there's no mold in the boat. So no, the boat looks fine. It's dirty. You got leaves and all kinds of shit, but no mold. Nothing catastrophic. Now, we haven't started the engines yet, so we'll find that out. Where was I, though? Oh yeah, so are we going to continue doing this channel? I've been giving it a lot of thought, and we're just a dinky channel, so maybe no one gives a shit. But I thought I'd update you. For those that have been following us from the beginning, the whole purpose of this channel, like, it was never to get rich, it was never to make money, it was never to be famous, none of that shit. It was really just to spend time with my kids. I noticed the kids were getting older. They're always on their phones, their tablets, the YouTube, their video games. It was a way to combine everyone's interest into a project that we could all have a piece in and video it, and they liked YouTube, so that's what we did. And as the kids got older, they've been having less and less interest in it. So it really made me think, do we continue this? As you guys would have seen last year, Jackson might have only been in one video. Jackson is turning 17, so he has other interests, like girlfriend, wants to spend time with his friends, and he has a job. So, you know, he's not that interested in boating anymore, and Chloe's turning 13. So over the winter, I really gave it a lot of thought. Like, do I really want to continue this? You know, as you will know, like, our channel is not a professional channel. It could require tons of improvement, but it's not our full-time job. It was always meant to be a hobby. And I just thought, it is expensive, everything, and it's a lot of time to do videos and stuff like that, and a lot of time planning the trips and that sort of stuff. So over the winter, I really thought, you know, does it make sense to continue this channel? And I really thought about it, because there was times where I was like, nah, I'm not going to continue it. What's the point? But one of the cool little things, and again, we're just a dinky channel, but even as small as we are, we do get messages sometimes, and we'll get messages from people about, I saw that DIY project, can you give me some more information on that? Or I saw you in this anchorage or that lock or that marina, can you tell me more about that? I've even had messages from people saying, I saw you were in Hastings, and that brought back so many memories because I grew up in Hastings, and that was really nice to see. One of the coolest things, I think it was 2 years ago, we met a couple doing the Great Loop, and they were from Florida, I believe. And we got talking and stuff, and it turns out they were subscribers of our channel, and they didn't know it at the time, and we didn't know it, but they had watched us purely for the DIY project on replacing the foredeck. And here we are, like a year later, we met them in Lakefield, and they were subscribers, and they're from Florida. So I thought that was cool. So there are some of these cool little things that come with having a YouTube channel. So after a lot of thought, I kind of figured out and realized, I do like this as a hobby. And just because the kids are going to be less involved, I am going to continue to screw around with this channel, having fun. We're going to make some channel changes, though, because mainly the channel was kind of geared around the kids and us doing family stuff. Now that they're going to be less involved, it's going to be more focused on my interest. And as you guys would have seen last year, I was getting back into camping with Steph, so we're hoping to do some tent camping, some truck camping, maybe even some backcountry camping. We did more kayaking and fishing and hiking sort of stuff. I'm also really on the edge of whether I want to buy a four-wheeler or a side-by-side and get into some off-roading stuff. And then, of course, we're still going to do a lot of boating. So it's mainly going to shift from a boating show or a boating channel to more of an outdoors channel. So if that's something that you guys like, feel free to subscribe, like, and maybe even leave some comments as to things that you'd like to see. Good beer. So that's the change. We are going to continue with the channel. It's still going to be a hobby. It's still going to be just random videos surrounding the outdoor stuff. As long as I continue to have fun with it, then we're going to continue to do that, and we'll go from there. So the other thing I wanted to do, I did screw up. I made a big mistake. I'm going to get into that, but let's see if the engines run. That's always the biggest thing in the spring. I don't know what it is about boats. You put them away in the fall, everything works. In the spring, you turn them on, stuff doesn't work. It drives me nuts. So far, so good, knock on wood. Let's start the engines, see if they fire up, and then that will be cause for a second celebratory beer. And then I'll tell you how I screwed up. Hang on. Okay, so good news. The electronics start, so the depth finder and all that stuff starts. The exhaust fan was running. So now let's see if the engine will turn over. We'll try the port side first. Okay, that's not great. We're getting nothing. Sometimes the shifter gets stuck. Oh, ho, 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 there we go. That's always good news. There's one engine up. Okay. Gauges work, so that's good. I've got the water muffs and a hose hooked up to the engine so that it's not going to overheat. Just let it run for a little bit. And then we'll check the starboard engine. Okay, so the port engine runs. you guys saw the same thing I did, the water coming out of the water pump. You generally don't want to have water coming in your boat. But I knew about that. That was happening last year, actually. I noticed it near the end of the season. So I'm just curious, though. It's like just a little pinhole. I wonder, part of me says, you know, maybe some JB Weld would fix that. Maybe leave me a comment whether you think that would be a way to go. The other part of me says, if it's rusting out and there's a pinhole in it, you put JB Weld on that, well, are you going to have another failure somewhere else? And for the price of a new water pump, I think that's $300. So I'm kind of on the fence. I think I'll probably just go with a new water pump. It's one of those things where, you know, you're on the water, so you kind of want to err on the side of caution when you can, and you tend to not want to cheap out on some of these fixes, especially where water enters your boat. That's generally a quick way to find the bottom of the lake. So anyways, I did know about that, so we're going to decide on how to fix that here shortly. So let's try the other engine here. Okay, let's try starboard engine. Woo-hoo-hoo! There we go, 2 engines. The gauges seem to be working. That's always the worry if the engines don't fire, because that's a huge pain in the ass to fix and get in. But no, this old girl, she always fires up. So, all right, I'm gonna go check the engine bay and see if there's any issues there. Okay, so it looks like the only issues I have to deal with this spring is the water pump needs to be replaced. I need my air conditioning fixed. We did go all year last year without it. Wasn't bad, but if you have air conditioning, it would be nice to have it working. And I need a solenoid for the trim to raise the starboard engine, not the engine, the drive. I need to raise the drive up. So the air conditioning could be expensive. We'll see what happens there. I'm figuring water pump, $300 if we go that route, plus installation, and then the solenoid's simple. So I think we got off pretty good, and everything else just needs a good clean, a good wash, and we'll go from there. So, oh, I screwed up. So yeah, so the big thing I screwed up, those of you that have been following us for a while, the first few years we were exploring the Bay of Quinte. The last few years we've been in Hastings, exploring the Trent Severn from Campbellford all the way up as far as Lakefield. And this year we were going to put the boat in Lakefield and explore the top of the Trent, some new water. I didn't realize that Lakefield had such a waiting list. I should have. I'm dumb. Sometimes I don't think about those things. And when I called, yeah, they're like, there's no way. So we're on the waiting list now. So that leaves us, where are we going to go for this year? I thought about going back to the Trent port because the Bay of Quinte is awesome. We thought about going to Kingston, doing the Rideau, Thousand Islands, that sort of thing. But Kingston's about an hour away. It's a little bit far. And what I decided was I am going to put the boat back in Hastings for one more year. A few reasons. It's nice because friends, it's close to friends to come out and hang out on the boat. 2, I'm more used to Rice Lake and the anchorages and the fishing areas, so that's good to try that out and do so. There's some more opportunities on Rice Lake for fishing and anchoring and stuff like that I haven't done yet. Also, there's some locks that we haven't stayed at yet that we want to check out. And it's a great place to use as a home base. In Hastings, if you drive 30 minutes to an hour in any direction, you're going to hit some cool kayaking and fishing opportunities. So I thought we can still stay for one more year in Hastings, and we can still do some new things and try some new things. So that's why we're going to stay one more year in Hastings. There's going to be some camping trips booked as well. There's even been some talk of going to Ireland, which that may get pushed until next year. So we'll see. Anyways, so that's the deal. I screwed up, but we do have some cool stuff planned for this year. We're changing the channel a bit, more outdoorsy stuff, more similar to what you saw last year. Still going to be a lot of boating content. So if that's stuff that you guys like, please subscribe, leave some comments of stuff you'd like to see. And yeah, that's the updates, and I'm going to get cleaning this boat and get things organized to get out on the water. So cheers. See you guys later.